You know that bunch rot is coming. It's just a matter of the right conditions. We can offer you a forward-looking, biorational solution called Mealone. It utilizes a novel, soft chemistry and truly unique mode of action.
Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with American Vineyard Magazine, reporting to you from Unified Wine Grape Symposium in downtown Sacramento. Among the great lineup of speakers and presentations was our State of the Wine Industry presentation that everyone looks forward to, among which we have Danny Brager was one of our panelists, talking about kind of the direction that consumers are heading. So he's a wine industry analyst, and one of the things that we wanted to talk about was that it's not just about wine, beer, and spirits anymore. There's so much more variety that our consumers have to choose from. Also talking about certain medications people are using to lose weight and suppress appetite, cannabis, also the movement towards anti-alcohol consumption. It's all over the board. The challenges that the wine sales, that's impacting wine sales. So can you tell us, we can take it one at a time, but what would you have to say?
Yeah, well, I'd say the first thing is, it's not a wine consumer anymore. A wine consumer is also buying other things, beer, spirits, all these ready-to-drink products that sometimes...
In all different packages, right?
All different package types, all different flavors, looks cool, very colorful, et cetera, et cetera. So consumers are buying all of these things, so that makes it kind of a competitively challenged area. That's one thing. Then we have the forces, the economic forces, inflation and interest rates and all those things. Then we have the competition from kind of outside of our distinct borders. That's where we get into cannabis, get into these THC seltzers that are now showing up in liquor stores or convenience stores, depending on states that allow it or don't allow it. Then we have the GLP-1 drugs that some say suppress one's appetite to eat, but maybe also to drink. These ready-to-drink things that, some are in the wine category, but some are beyond, ready-to-drink spirits, for instance. And we have this pretty large anti-alcohol movement that's well-funded and well-coordinated by folks like the World Health Organization that is really putting a lot of pressure on and trying really hard to say that no drinking is good for you. Those are tough forces that we've got against us. We'll see what happens, but at the same time, I think some of that influence I see in this whole social moderation trend, right? Some of it is just consumers wanting to live a healthier lifestyle, which is good, but some of it also is kind of fanned by the flames of all of the press that's out there about, alcohol's no good for you, etc. So yeah, times are more challenging than in the past, for sure.
It definitely. Now, would you say some of those things you listed off? What are, the strongest forces you'd say that are working against the sale of and progress of the wine industry?
Yeah, I keep saying that it's really hard to quantify which one specifically, but none of them are good, and there's a lot of them. So it's kind of like, I feel like sometimes we're swimming with the sharks, and all of these sharks are around us, all sort of trying to bite off little bits and pieces. As an industry, we have to just be more resilient, act together, collaborate, partner with one another, and figure out, how to really connect with consumers and engage with consumers, so that consumers, want to buy what we have to offer, which are great products, great brands.
Yeah, I know I'm probably not the only one that has this problem, but when you go to the store and you see all these options on the shelf, it's a little overwhelming. It's hard to choose, what to go for, and some people may just get overwhelmed by it and not choose anything, But looking, you also mentioned down in Southern California where you live, in some stores, the alcohol section is all locked off, so that makes it even harder, right, for people to easily go and purchase it, right?
For sure. Although what I've seen so far, it's just spirits. I guess what I was remarking is that, that's not good for spirits. Obviously, we certainly would not want that to happen to wine. If products aren't easily accessible to a consumer, some will walk away. They're not going to sit in front of a locked area and wait for someone to come over to help them. They're just going to walk away. So that's not happening in wine right now. It's hopefully it doesn't happen.
Right. So other things that our wine industry can do to kind of better cater to the rising generation. I think one of the things that was mentioned too was that the younger generation just isn't drinking like the older generations, and there was a difference between multicultural impacts. There's a lot to think about.
Yeah. Well, I think again, like whenever someone says younger and whenever someone says multicultural, they're often one and the same, right? A large portion of the younger adults are multicultural to start with, but there's a lot to think about. Things like social moderation. Well, there are products out in the marketplace, wine products, that cater to that, whether they be kind of better for you, low calories, less sugar products. There's non-alcoholic wines. So there are tools and things that we have in our arsenal for us to recognize what's driving consumer behavior and change and make sure that we're meeting the needs of today's consumer. And there's still, as I mentioned today, yes, it's challenging, the industry's down, but well over a third of brands are growing. So there's many that are doing things correctly. They're doing things right.
Yeah, some are succeeding, and we need to follow after those models that we were seeing. So great, great to share. I think something someone else mentioned today was that there's much more to wine than just the small percentage of alcohol content there is. And so maybe that's something that they need to, as an industry, really emphasize, what wine is all about. It's not just another alcoholic beverage.
And the other thing I said is that there's many occasions for which wine could be chosen or may not be chosen. And we have to recognize all those different potential occasions and determine whether we have the right product for that occasion. Sometimes it's a 750 ml bottle. Sometimes it's a ready-to-drink type product that's wine-based. Sometimes it's something in a tetra or a box or a can. Lots of, the more versatile we have, the more occasion needs that we can meet.
Right, not just fancy weddings, there's...
We'll take that too.
Well, hey, thank you so much, Danny, for your insights and really staying on the pulse of what's going on in the alcohol, beverage, and wine industry. Read more about these things in American Vineyard Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.